Okay guys, keep this video secret. Definitely don't like and subscribe and share this with your friends. But I think I found the legendary North American Smith & Wesson Victory 22 pistol. Come on, let's check it out. Just as I thought, here she is. What an absolute beauty. Just check out the girth, the sheer frame, the elegance of it. It's just anything you can ever want. Getting pretty close to tickling 1,000 subscribers. If I were you, I would be racing to get to the 1,000 slot. Today we're going to be talking about the Smith & Wesson 22 Victory. Now we're going to go over our initial thoughts first. We're going to go ahead and play some footage, keep you guys entertained, tickle that ADHD factor, and then we're going to go ahead and go over our ranking, just like our other guns that we've been doing before. For a 22 to be heavy, basically takes the recoil from close to zero to basically completely zero. When we were able to get the gun to work without issues and we're able to just dump the whole mag, she ran like a dream. However, that's when she was functioning as she was intended. Now she did end up jamming a lot, especially the first time that we went shooting. We just shot it as is right out the box, so she was a bit dry. Now the second time that we went out shooting, of course we lubricated it and double checked the magazines. She was running a lot better, maybe jamming once or twice every magazine, which does sound pretty bad, especially in comparison to other pistols. Now, of course, jamming and feeding issues is an unfortunate part of 22s, just kind of comes with the territory. Pretty much what I'm trying to tell you guys is that what you expect is what you're gonna get, especially with this gun, unlike other guns. Get in there. So anyways, all right guys, jumping into the review for real this time, we're going to be talking about sights and attachments. So as you can see, you have a lot of capability. Now, but for real though, this is, I wouldn't say an aftermarket, this is like a factory sight that Smith & Wesson will give you. It does come with like a Picatinny rail. Obviously you can put like red dots and attachments. If you're brave enough, maybe you can put an LVPO. I would love to see that. If any of you guys, if you guys do that, please send me a picture, that'd be sick. It comes with the opportunity for you to put a red dot on it. And it does come with blacked out rear, which personally I do like a lot more than the standard sight that it comes attached on. Right off the box, without like any modification, you are gonna get, at least with this specific model, you are gonna get a 3-dot high visibility sight. It's not a night sight. It does make it quite easy to find your sights, especially like on presentation. You bring it up and you immediately know where you are. But if you guys are anything like me, personally, I just like the blacked out rear. I just like to focus on the single dot, especially makes it easier if you're shooting with both eyes open. Now, as far as attachments, there are a lot of aftermarket parts, but talking right out the box, pretty much the only thing you have going for you is being able to put a red dot. Can't really put a flashlight. Obviously, there's no magwell. But like I was saying, you have aftermarket grips. You can put wood, or you can put, I don't know, like a red finish if you want to like trick it out like that. Although just right off the bat, pretty much just have a pretty great set of iron sights, I do have to say. So that's already a plus. And then you do have options, because right off the bat, oh my gosh, I keep saying that, right off the fucking bat. I never even played baseball. But from the start, you have either a choice of high visibility, 2-dot sights in the back, or you have a blacked out rear. So for that reason, we are gonna go ahead and give it a 6 out of 10 because it is good. And before we go any more into the review, I just have to say, our ranking system is 0 is straight dookie water, or 10 is literal perfection, like it glows. 5 is neutral, not good nor bad. So therefore, 6 would be considered good, and like 7 or 8 would be considered great. And then, it has like opportunity to improve. And then 4 is like, it's okay, a little bit less than neutral, and so on. Just wanted to give an explanation on the ranking system. Moving on to pricing. So most of these Smith & Wesson 22 pistols, there are quite a few models if you were not aware, but depending on where you shop and depending on your state, taxes and all that included, you can either find them at anywhere from like $360 up until $440. That's roughly how much we got ours for. So yeah, your experience may vary, but we think for that price range, it's a great deal. So we're gonna give it a 7, which we consider a great score. For our next and longest section, we're gonna be talking about practicality, comfort, reload, and weight. Talking about the comfort of the weapon, the grip itself, it's very subjective. So this is, of course, my ranking, so I'm going to go based off what I think and believe. Initially, to be honest, I did not like it. The grip is a bit slippery, so it's no surprise surprise to me why people like change out their grips. Maybe they want something a little more unique, maybe something a little more texturized. The feel, tend to get used to it, and I actually do quite like it now that I've had some time with it. You know, initial thoughts aren't always, you know, first impressions they're not always right. So practicality, I think it's excellent. This day and age, times are tough, so everything's a bit expensive. But you know what's still relatively affordable is 22. You can pretty much get 300 to 500 rounds for less than 50 bucks. That's a lot of ammunition that you can train with and you can get good with. So what I'm trying to say is that given the price of 22, this is an excellent choice if you just want to get shots down range. I would not use this for self-defense. I would probably use a 9mm or like a 5.56, 12 gauge. There's a lot of different calibers that are more effective for defense. So I would not be using this for self-defense. It's a little 22, you know what I'm saying? As far as reload, I think it's great. Now, of course, 22 magazines, there's no way around it. They're pretty thin. So sometimes your little reload can be a bit finicky. It can be hard to get in. But as far as ejection, see, that's a sign of a good ejector, magazine ejector. Because, you know, magazines, they keep getting caught. They jump up when they're upside down. Pro tip, it's probably a good, you know, magazine ejector. Of course, I've had a lot of experience with it, so I can kind of just drop the mag and insert it. But it can be a bit finicky, especially when you're first starting out, because of how thin the magazine is, and you know, the magwell, the magazine hole, if you will. But as far as reload, you know, I always say steel mags. They make it easy to, you know, insert without having like a lot of friction. According to Google and some very undercover sources that I cannot disclose, Smith & Wesson Victory stops at about 36 ounces or 2.25 pounds. It means that for a 22 pistol, it is a bit heavy. Definitely got some weight to it. Although I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, especially given the 22, like I explained earlier. It really just absorbs a lot of that felt recoil. And if you're just, you know, at the range, just putting it really feels like a pea shooter, damn near an airsoft gun. Not that it is. I really do like the weight, and you know, an extra part, if you want to look at it like this, is that most of the pistols that people use for self-defense, they got some weight to them. And if you want to like kind of transfer over some of your skills, some of your kind of like muscle memory, having a pistol that shoots 22 and that is heavy is excellent, because they're in the same weight class. It's not going to feel strange moving from this pistol to, you know, your standard everyday carry or, you know, full-size pistol. Overall, we're going to give this category an 8 out of 10. In the last class, at the last category before the cool factor, we're going to go ahead and talk about the performance. So we went ahead and gave this category a 6 out of 10. While at the range and at the times that it did work, we were able to get some pretty nice groupings about fist size from, I don't know, 10, 15 yards. The gun itself did not have issues, but the reason that we gave it 6 out of 10, we had to dock it down on performance, is because of the magazines that were sent with the gun kept giving us issues. This magazine obviously holds about 10 rounds. And so when we put rounds inside the magazine and we pull down this lip to kind of just relieve some of the tension so the rounds can go in a little bit easier, there would always be the top round that gets stuck in these lips. So that was of course an indication of what was wrong when we were like jamming out. We're having jams. Not jamming out. We were jamming out, but that's not what I'm talking about. When the round was jamming inside of my chamber. And looking inside the chamber, what would be happening is that the round is supposed to kind of feed up a little bit so that it can just comfortably glide into the feed ramp. That was not happening. My round was completely straight, just like completely horizontal. And that was basically what was happening, is that it didn't have enough of an angle to fall into the feed ramp to run smoothly. So it was just getting stuck at the bottom of the feed ramp. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and get some new magazines. I'll see if I can give you guys like some kind of an update, or like, we're gonna start making shorts, by the way. So if you guys, you know, stay tuned. I'll probably give a lot of updates in those shorts. We're gonna go ahead and mess with the magazines, see if there's something that we can do. But ultimately, I had to tell you guys based off of my experience that we were having a lot of issues with the magazines. Something else to mention, didn't affect necessarily the function or the performance of the gun. I just do have to mention it so that you guys are completely aware. is the upper, specifically like kind of where the slide and the receiver is, it does fumble quite a bit. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. So that can affect your, your zeroing if you do put a red dot on your Picatinny rail. Just thought I'd mention that to you guys. It was a bit bad and it even extended to my barrel, but what I did is that I took apart this screw and, I basically like maintenance the inside of the gun and I put it back together and just make sure everything was like tight and put together. And it did erase like the wobble in the barrel a little bit. It wasn't like a lot, but it was noticeable. And it did reduce a lot of the wobble up here. I did go into some of the forums, did look at like, all over the internet. It is unfortunately, I guess, a common issue or something that people typically notice when it comes to this specific model. For the last section of this review, we're gonna be talking about the cool factor. Funny thing about the cool factor about this gun is that you can do some really goofy and funny stuff with it. Not to mention, kind of feel like a spy. My little brother said it looked like a Star Wars gun, and not gonna lie, it does kind of look like Padme Amidala's like, Naboo blaster. So I see it. It's pretty cool. You can do a lot of funny things with it. It can definitely be like a gag gun, as you guys can see. So, we're gonna give it a 1 out of 5 because funny factor can only get you so far. It's not like something super cool, like, I don't know, like a G11 or something like crazy like that. But if you round up all the points, we're gonna go ahead and give this gun overall a 28 out of 40, resting at a comfortable and happy 7 out of 10. Congratulations, Smith & Wesson victory. It's great. In case you guys were wondering what it looks like to aim down sights on the EOTech on the Smith & Wesson Victory 22, you're welcome. All right, guys, thank you very much for sticking with us for another video. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. We cannot believe we're actually like almost there. It's been a long journey, definitely a very fun one. Pretty much like our first major milestone as a channel and as a community to hit 1,000 subs. We'll kind of see what the future holds for us, but we're so close. All you just gotta shred. That's it. That's all you gotta do. It's very easy. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys very much. As far as the review goes, if you guys have any questions or if I missed anything, please leave it down in the comments. I'll try to get to all the comments as soon as I can. We just wanted to give you a thank you from everyone here at the Continental. Lars, say hi.
Hello.
Lars says hi. So thank you very much, and we'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully after 1,000 subscribers. Goodbye.